Okay, this is Titilala Martins wishing you a prosperous new year. Yeah, it's another year, and we are grateful to God for keeping us again. And my prayer is that we will live to see many more in fulfillment in the name of Jesus. And this is your Monday Maritonic, of course. I'm not going to allow the day to pass without you having your Monday Maritonic. And what do I have for you today? Yeah, it's a new year, and this is really, really timely. Okay, I would like to say this. See, marriage is about growth. Yes, marriage, successful marriage happens when there is growth. When there is growth with the people involved. Your growth determines your marriage, the status, the health of your marriage. Yeah, successful marriage actually comes through growth. It is not a matter of we are compatible, is phlegmatic, our temperament. Let me tell you, your temperament does not determine the success of your marriage. Yes, what determines the success of your marriage, regardless of your temperament, is what? Growth. And you must grow regardless of the weakness or the strengths that comes with your temperament. Many people have been deceived with that. Oh, it's my temperament. I don't talk. I don't do this. My spouse is like this, and that's why our marriage is not working. I wish I married somebody that is like this. That the temperament is like this. And our temperament is not just compatible. It's a lie. Let me tell you, similarity is an asset. And that difficulty, it's because we are both choleric. That's why everywhere is always hot. That's not true. Yeah, if you are truly growing, successful marriage comes with growth. It comes with you growing, and that is why you have to put off all this manage me, accept me, tolerate me. Let people decide whether they will tolerate you or not. You are not the one to decide whether people will tolerate. If you have to keep telling your wife, your husband, tolerate me, that's who I am, then there is a problem. You don't want to grow. Marriage comes to growth, comes through maturity. You need to mature. Successful marriage, comes through maturity. You need to mature. Get out of all the excuses that you give yourself. I am like this, I am like that. If you can just take me like that, take me for who I am. You are not the one to tell people to take you for who you are. When if they want to take you for who you are, it is theirs to decide. You cannot force it on them. That is why all your effort to make them to accept you for who you are. I'm not saying they shouldn't accept you for who you are, but all your effort, if you have to make the effort to tell them, accept me for who I am, you are wasting your time, because they will decide to accept you for who you are by themselves. It is their decision. So stop trying to control what you don't have control over. Stop telling people, manage me. So you've got to get out of all this manage me, tolerate me, take me for who I am, try to understand me. I'm not saying people should not understand you. Why don't you also understand them and level up? So that what they complained about last year is not what they are still complaining about this year. You've got to grow up. Your successful marriage, that successful marriage you desire, is going to come from what? It's going to come from you maturing. And that's why I'm calling everyone to maturity this year. Tell yourself, I want to mature, I want to grow, I want to change. Change is the only constant thing if you really want to enjoy life. You have to obey the law of transition. Marriage is about transition. You have to be changing when required. Don't be rigid. This is the way I am. Some people will tell me I'm not changing. You are the one that have changed, and that is why we're having difficulty in this marriage. That's why we're having difficulty in this relationship. Maybe it's because you have not changed. That is why you're having difficulties. Because if you have changed in those areas that require change, then things will have been better. Stop pointing an accusing finger on the other person. See, what you can do, your maturity will determine the health of your relationship. Marriage requires that you keep changing. I tell you, I feel like repeating that and repeating it and repeating it again. Marriage is about you keep changing. If at 50 years of age, you are still doing things like you were doing them when you were 30, maybe you got married at 30, if whatever, if you are still doing things the same way In fact, 50 is too long, but let me just use that. If you are still doing things the same way you do them 30 years ago, when you were 30, 20 years ago, it means that you have wasted 20 years of your life. Because you have not learned new things. You have not learned anything. You have not changed. You should change. Even things you have been doing well before, you should have found ways of doing them better. Yeah. So if you still do things the way you have still been doing them 20 years ago, you say, oh, I've not changed, I'm still the same person. Check yourself. That means you are not growing. You should have found better ways of doing things. Tell you. Even if you still remain that yourself, quote and unquote. In fact, you can't remain yourself if you are truly growing. You need to grow up, level up. Again, I say the health of your marriage is determined by what? Your maturity. Successful marriage comes from maturity, okay? And if you are not maturing, there is no way you are going to have that desired marriage. You have to obey the law of transition. Keep changing. Marriage requires that you change. Stop saying accepting. When you toe the maturity line, you all those statements of accepting for who I am, tolerate me, will just fizzle out of your diction. It will fizzle out of your dictionary. I'm telling you, you will just you change with time. You change your methods, you change your ways, you change your approaches, and then you are having it lovely. Yes, please, if you still behaving single like you were single, then that your behavior will take you back to singleness. Many people are single in their marriage now. They are married as if they are not married, because they are Adam are still living that life that you were living when you were single. Marriage changes. You must change to have a successful marriage. And that's what I'm going to leave you with. This. Please make this year the year of growth for yourself, the year of working with yourself. And if you want to do that, you have to start doing it from this January. You have to start doing it immediately. Don't say, I will do it then. No, even if there is a course that it's coming up April, coming up March, or 2 months time, 1 month's time, do something. I can find a book to read. Nobody is going to determine that. Only you determine that. So make this year the year of growth, and you're going to have it better. This is Titilola Martins, your relationship therapist. God bless you.